BlackBerry once owned the most important people on Earth: presidents, CEOs, world leaders. If your phone buzzed and it was a BlackBerry, it mattered. And for years, BlackBerry believed that meant it would never lose. That belief was the mistake. Because while BlackBerry was perfecting the keyboard, the world was learning how to touch the future. Here's the part that makes this story uncomfortable. BlackBerry didn't fail because it lacked technology. It didn't fail because it ran out of money. And it didn't fail because competitors were smarter. It failed because it refused to let go of the thing that made it successful. And once that decision was made, everything else followed. In the early 2000s, BlackBerry wasn't just a phone maker. It was the backbone of modern business: secure email, encrypted messaging, instant communication. Executives didn't ask if you had a BlackBerry. They asked which one. The physical keyboard wasn't a feature. It was an identity. Inside the company, that keyboard was sacred. Engineers believed typing speed mattered more than anything else. Executives believed professionals would always choose productivity over entertainment. And for a while, they were right. BlackBerry dominated corporate communication. But something subtle was changing. And BlackBerry didn't see it. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone. To BlackBerry, it looked like a toy. No keyboard, touchscreen typing, entertainment-focused design. BlackBerry executives reportedly dismissed it as impractical for serious work. Why would professionals trade real keys for glass? That question reveals everything. BlackBerry wasn't watching how people used phones. They were watching how phones should be used. And those are not the same thing. Consumers weren't asking for faster emails. They were asking for better experiences. Apps, media, personalization. The phone was becoming personal. BlackBerry stayed professional. This is where product rigidity took hold. BlackBerry believed abandoning the physical keyboard would alienate its core users. So instead of leading the transition, they tried to delay it. Touchscreens were added late. Software felt constrained. The ecosystem lagged. Every decision was filtered through one question: how do we protect the keyboard? But the keyboard wasn't the product anymore. It was the past. And the longer BlackBerry defended it, the more irrelevant it became. By the time BlackBerry finally released touchscreen-focused devices, the culture had already moved on. Developers had moved on. Consumers had moved on. And loyalty had evaporated. Inside the company, confidence turned into denial. Market share was shrinking, but leadership believed enterprise customers would stay forever. They didn't. Because even executives go home. And at home, they didn't want a work phone. They wanted what everyone else had. This is where corporate ego quietly sealed the outcome. BlackBerry believed its users needed them, but the market doesn't reward need. It rewards desire. And BlackBerry never learned the difference. As Apple and Android ecosystems exploded, BlackBerry fell behind in software, apps, and consumer appeal. The company tried to pivot, too slowly. Years of rigid thinking had created internal resistance to change. By the time leadership accepted reality, they were reacting, not leading. The fatal mistake wasn't the keyboard itself. It was believing that past success guaranteed future relevance. BlackBerry optimized for a world that no longer existed, and the cost of adapting felt higher than the cost of waiting. Until it wasn't. Market share collapsed. Developers stopped building. Consumers stopped caring. And a company once worth tens of billions became a cautionary tale. Not because it didn't see change, but because it didn't believe change applied to them. BlackBerry's story isn't about technology, it's about identity. When a company confuses what it makes with who it is, it stops evolving. And evolution is not optional. BlackBerry didn't lose because touchscreens won. It lost because it chose certainty over curiosity. And in fast-moving markets, certainty is the most dangerous choice of all.